This is more than trading. This is crypto warfare. Hack the code, break the whales, take your freedom. Midnight trades in silence deep. AI hunts while retail sleeps. Sniping blocks with lightning code. I bend the flow, I crack the node. Whales fake walls, I glide through. Charts don't lie, but they do for you. Hack the crypto markets. Trade like it goes. Stack without sound. Signals, no trust, just code. Speed and surgical guts, cold wallet dreams. Bots in sync, I pull the strings before they blink. Spoof detected, I slip and clean while they drown in red, I print green. No mercy, no margin, no middleman. This isn't Wall Street, it's the chain. Blocks built with digital flame. Built and spell, I'm first to eat. My algo breathes, it doesn't sleep. Freedom coded, profit raw. I crack the loop, I am the law, 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 law. Everything I own is silent wealth. No applause or stealth on stealth. Trade by light, build in dark, transcend the noise. Leave your mark. Hack the crypto markets. They follow charts. We transcend money. This isn't a game. Digital streets, charts in the smoke. BTC spikes, bears start to choke. Cold eyes, numbers bleed. Only the strong will survive and lead. Bull and bear clash. Chaos unleashed. Futures loaded. Pressure in.
Welcome to Transcend Money Community. My name is Tony, and today's video we are going to analyze the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin, because Ethereum right now is about to test the support from this huge, enormous, from 2021 November symmetrical triangle. And for me, this point is the one that is gonna mark the altcoin season. So we are very close. So let's first analyze the price of Bitcoin, and then we're gonna go to Ethereum, because Bitcoin, of course, is the one that is gonna mark if the trend is gonna be uptrend or downtrend. So let's go for it first. We're going for hourly. We had a pump close to 120,000, something like this, in a spot Binance. And now let's see what we have in the order book. Let's go to the historical order book. We're gonna go for Bitcoin, USDT futures. You know, this is the typical chart with candles plus the circles is basically big orders in the market, like one click and sell or buy. And then we have the horizontal lines, that is the liquidity by the prices. And in yellow, we see which are the prices with most liquidity, or the prices with most interest for investors. And what we can see is that just recently, this last hour, we have accumulation now, a new one, in 116,310. So for me, that is going to be the interesting point right now. We're going to follow very closely the 110 and 112. But seems to me that the 117, 116 is going to be where it's going to bounce Bitcoin, because if we check the higher upper part of the prices, we have the 120,000 with resistance, more than 200 Bitcoins. But then we see the more liquidity is coming to 128, 130,000, but this is the one that is spectacular, 135,000 with 225 Bitcoins. We didn't have this for a long time. Now this is basically the first day that we have this amount of liquidity in 135, and this is gonna act like a magnet. So that means that a part of this 116,000 that is new with 200 Bitcoins, seems that now the market believe that the probabilities that the price of Bitcoin is going higher is much probable. And this is a very big thing for me, because that means maybe right now it's a good entry, $117,000 or $116,000, because I think the probabilities that we're gonna go, let's check the level. So this is basically the volume profile, how many Bitcoins or they were trading different levels. This is the fair value point, and the upper and the lower fair value. So we can see, let me take out the magnet, we can see that around this area is the lower range, that is $116,800. So let me take out this one, and now let's mark this region where we have all the liquidity. Now we're gonna see it from the website of Transcend Money, but I want to mark this around this area, like 117,200 to 116,300, more or less, this region, about this region. That is this last peak, right? So I think this is gonna be the new range. We're gonna keep this one and this one. So right now we have this range, but so it seems this is, which level is this one? 117,300. So I think this is still relevant, these two trend lines, that they were like a symmetrical triangle, but right now seems it's not gonna be symmetrical triangle, it's gonna be just a trend line, right? So I think this trend line can be the retest for the price of Bitcoins. It's 117,000. The RSI, they are dropping dramatically right now. We can see Ethereum, this is Ethereum. Bitcoin, Binance futures, 1 hour is 37 RSI, 4 hours 48, and daily 58. So if we go in again to the 117,000 or even 116,000, that means that we'll have again oversold the price of Bitcoin. So maybe it's going to be the next one. We don't know when exactly. We have to consider that this week the macroeconomical calendar is hot, because in about 1 day we have the data from US GDP data. For me, it's going to be Wednesday, 8 p.m. It depends on the country you are. You know, this is Transcend.money website, so you can see the macroeconomical calendar. So that one is going to be in 1 day and 22 hours. And then we have the federal interest rate decision in my Thursday, in about 2 days and 3 hours. So maybe it's going to be there. But I think the chances now, they are increasing that Bitcoin is gonna break at some point. So I think this region could be a good entry for Bitcoin. I'm gonna enter Bitcoin. I think I'm gonna go more for Solana, but let's analyze both Bitcoin, Ethereum, that I think can be the one that is gonna pump the altcoin market, and then Solana. And let's see which one is gonna be the biggest opportunity or the one that I'm gonna enter. Right? Let me know in the comments down below which are your thoughts about the market and what are you waiting for a good entry. Then this is, look, this trend line right now. We could move probably. Okay, let's see. We can move probably this. We are in 1 hour. It's a little bit extreme. I don't really like these points. I don't wanna force it. I don't wanna force it. I'm gonna take out this one and I'm gonna keep this one right now. I'm gonna keep this one. This will be 117,475. But all this region, we saw that we have a lot of longs, right? That is gonna be this area. So there are quite a lot of longs. Let's see it in detail from the website of Transact Money. So now we're gonna see the top 10 prices. The top 10 prices in Binance futures right now. Perfect. So yesterday we had this resistance and went to the second level, and now seems that we're gonna retest this one, but let's check exactly the prices. Look how beautiful. Here we have the top 6. Also you have this in the Twitter account. You have down below all the links in the description of the video. So basically we have all the 717 with a lot of liquidity. We have a grid, I'm gonna draw now, and then the 116, okay? So I'm gonna go for that. There we go. So we have the 117th and the 116. So 116 will be just minus 146%. So that's gonna be perfect. And then we're gonna keep an eye in the 110 and 112 and 115. Right now, without liquidity, we're gonna track them very closely to see if the liquidity is gonna increase or not. And from the upper part, we have basically the 120. 120, still the resistance, right? But there is not such a big liquidity, so I believe we're gonna have a pullback to 117 or even 116, 300, the one that we mentioned before, right? So we have here the actual prices. So probably I will go for this one. I will enter this one, 116, and look at the price. One of the prices, top 6 prices with most liquidity is the $116,311.8. This is quite a weird price. Why? Because I don't think this is retail investors. These 286 Bitcoins or $33 million, I don't think it's retail investor, because normally retail, they are not going for decimals. So I think this is a market maker, the 116,311. Then we have this one, yes, can be retail. You see, this is 0.0. These are prices that I believe retail are investing to enter long, the 117th. These prices that you saw on the screen, because they are 0.0, right? So, okay, that's great. So I believe that we want to have the pullback. Here is quite strong, probably we want to keep, but then it's going to try here. Here I think it's going to be good entry price. And let's see if the next push, we can break it, the resistance. At some point it's going to happen. And when it happens, we know that it's going to be very violent, like it happens before, right? with the bullish flags, like this one. We were testing, and then at some point, bam, was violent, right? So I think in this one it's gonna be the same, but with the difference that then it's gonna start the altcoin season. Why? Let's go to Ethereum. Let me know who is playing Ethereum, Solana, etc. Because now Ethereum is gonna retest, and this is critical because in the beginning of the video we were saying that it's gonna break Ethereum or not, and this is, wow, look how brutal is this drop of the RSI in 1 hour. This is brutal how fast it went to oversold, sorry. So we still have a lot of volume in futures Binance, more than Bitcoin, not double, but close to double of the Bitcoin price. So right now Ethereum is oversold in 1 hour, in 4 hours is neutral, and in 1 day still overbought. So let's see how the following hours are gonna play. We wanna check the levels now for Bitcoin in the order book, but what I don't want is a M pattern or double top. This will be around 300, 550. This will be very bad because if this breaks, then we're gonna retest lower levels. Let's say it's gonna be something like this. Exactly, 3,300. That is the one that we saw yesterday, right? So let's see the price with a lot of liquidity in the market. That means that a lot of investors, they believe the price of Ethereum can go there. So let's go to Binance Ethereum. There we go. And we have 3,000. Look how much liquidity we have here. Also, let me place here in our website the price of Ethereum. Meanwhile, we check in the historical. This is the hot order book, so we check in real time, and then this one is the historical. So we have the average of 1 hour right now. Okay, so we have maybe even a whale selling, right? Let me check. At least we have to include Ethereum also in the whale alert. No, it was not a big whale. The last one we had 16 hours ago. This is the Twitter account of Transit Money, right? Okay, so let's go for the levels of Ethereum. I'm gonna try to push a little bit to clean up and to see just the biggest ones. So you see, 303,000 with 8,000 Bitcoin, Ethereum, that is quite a lot. So that's the level, the worst level. Then 3471, 3545. And then we have here the big fight. We at 3,700, right? This one gets scared and just disappear, I think. Let me take out the big trades. We have quite a lot of volume, a spectacular volume in Ethereum. No, here we didn't have like a big sell-off at some point. Okay, so let's go for the levels. Let's see if we can see right now in Ethereum a good levels in the hot order book. Yesterday we had resistance here, and just in the last hour of the 24-hour prediction we go into the support. And let's check the levels, because we have an extreme amount of volume right now for the drop, right? So we have now the top 5 with more than 2,000 Ethereum. So that are gonna be for me the levels. And still we have the 3,300. That could be a drop of 12% in Ethereum, and that will be a magnificent entry point. But I don't think it's gonna go so hard. It's gonna take one level first, and we have the 600. Okay, let's mark all the levels. So we have the 33, 367, 370, and 360, and 68. So we have a big grid right now in the in these levels I mentioned before. So basically, the stronger one, let's say, is this two. 67 and 75. 67 is this one. Yeah, perfect. So is this peak, right? Let me zoom in. Yeah, is this peak is the 67, so the 3673. This level is one that the market is waiting, and the other one that we mentioned, the 75, is quite high here. Makes sense in this range, right? 75 more or less. So that two levels are the ones that the market is expecting, but I don't believe it's gonna do it straight. So we're gonna have a bounce first. I don't know how hard. Let's check the higher levels, and then maybe it's gonna try. But here probably it's gonna have a support. Right now we have the traditional markets also more or less neutral. Let's see, because now is the opportunity to buy, right? Okay, for the next ones, we have three clear levels: 4,050, 4,000, and 4,390. Nice. Let me mark all these levels to be sure. And the 3,800. Okay. Hello, Max. Welcome. So that's fantastic. And let me check right now, because it's quite a lot, 60% up. So in my mind, it's like first we're gonna have a pullback, and then we're gonna try the 4,000. It's gonna stop first the 3,820. Could be, but you see, as Bitcoin, there are very high levels right now, like even 60% up, 7% up, 5% up. So I think the Ethereum price is calling up for a push. The question is where is gonna pull back. This 3,750, 3,670, or even the 3,300, right? This is the last level we had. 300 is this one, this peak, right? So these ones we can forget about, and we're gonna follow these ones, right? So in Ethereum you have to take your own risk, but right now looks quite great. I think the 3,750 for the bounce of the RSI 1 hour, because it's gonna be oversold very soon, probably at that level, right? Like 3,700 or 750 around there. It's gonna be oversold 1 hour, so probably it's gonna bounce a little bit there, and then maybe it's gonna try the next level, 3,670. I think we said before. And so let's check Solana. I know that it's difficult now to enter, but I think can be a good opportunity. If I'm going, I will go for Solana. Almost I had entered my long at this level that I have 171.1. So let's check now Solana. How do we have? And as we have recently, we can see in Mexc is the highest volume for trading Solana. Why? Because the fees are zero. Is unbelievable. So for that reason we have a lot of volume, $7.6 billion against Binance, $4.3 billion. But we're gonna take Binance because we have the heat map there. So let's check the current situation. Bet23 is perfect, and let's see which are the top levels. And I'm gonna check also for the our order book for Solana. Let's go. So we have the 200 225. So I think it's the same for Solana. Maybe we're gonna have a retracement to 180, worst case 174. So my entry is a little bit higher now. Maybe I'm gonna bring it a little bit up. And look, this 174.1 in the last hour, double the amount of liquidity. So now the market is excited that maybe Solana is gonna do a pullback, because I'm seeing like we have not double but almost double the liquidity since the last hour in this price, 174.1 in 75.10, same liquidity, 66.37 liquidity, and 180 more or less the same. And we have this new one with a grid, 185.5. So here is going to be the fight. So let's see the RSIs for Solana, 40.49. So okay, it's neutral right now in futures. Binance. And I had this level before, but maybe I should consider this new one, 174.1. So which is the peak that this one? Yeah, this peak. So the one they are betting is this one. I don't know why, because I don't think it's so exciting, this peak. But this is the one they are betting, this peak. This one. Why? I don't know. Because I will take another one, not this one. 171.1 text. Coordinates. But yeah, it's the 74.1. Interesting, right? Do you see this level? I don't see this level, but the now they taking out, they reduce the liquidity, you see. So it's 175.1. Maybe it's that one. 75.1. This area. This I like more. 75.1. Okay, so let's see how is the hot order book, so the real time for Solana. And what do we have? Let's see today. Clearly 180, 175.1, so it's hot. And then 185.5, that one also we saw. Okay, so these are the current levels, were the top ones with more than 20,000 Solanas. And by liquidity, here they're all, so we cannot do. Okay, so I'm gonna place by liquidity by millions of dollars. So 180 will be a drop of 4%, 175.16%, and 176.36%. And 85.5 is 1% down where we are right now. So for good opportunity, I think it's the 75.1 in my opinion, but maybe it's too low, who knows. Let me know your levels right now. But the 75.1 I think is the interesting one. I'm gonna change my 71.1, no, because I'm going to sleep. But tomorrow morning, if I have the same level of prices, I will go the 175.1. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we have the levels of Solana. I think we can finish. We missed the top. I'm gonna mark the top 3. And why here is not the 210 is the maximum, but don't have liquidity. So that 220 still from market makers, and it's not very hot price. So I will bet for these ones then. 189.5, 196.5, 197.1. So basically the 96, 97, almost 5% pump in the price of Solana. 96, 97 is around here, around this region. So I think it's quite reasonable. If we went from this point to this one, no, it doesn't match, but this is where we have visually resistance, but the volume by volume is right here, the upper channel for the fixed volume profile. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much to everyone. You have in the Spanish channel, for the ones that you are from the Spanish channel, new shorts that you have the songs of Trance and Money, because some of you ask me. So there you go. And let's see Solana if we have opportunities soon. If for me, this is for sure, if Solana is going oversold in 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day RSI, I'm going to enter long. That's for sure. And also 171.1, maybe tomorrow 175.1. Everyone is making their own songs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's the new era now. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, especially for all the ones that they expend the energy to click the like button and also the subscribe button. So thank you very much and see you very soon.